If I told you there's a sweetener out there named after a monk, your brain might automatically picture someone peaceful sitting inside a quiet temple, carefully sipping tea. And honestly, that calm, gentle vibe actually matches the fruit pretty well. Today we're talking about monk fruit, also known as luo han guo, a natural sweetener that has somehow gained the reputation of being both saintly and scientifically impressive. So grab your tea, your coffee, or your emotional support mug, and let's break down what is monk fruit and why some countries banned it. Let's find out right here on History of Food. Let's start with the basics. What even is monk fruit? Well, it's a small, green, melon-like fruit native to southern China. And unlike your everyday fruits like apples or bananas, fruits that politely give you a nice, predictable sweetness, monk fruit is dramatically sweet. And I mean dramatically. Because the sweetness comes from something called mogrosides, which are compounds that can be 100 to 250 times sweeter than regular sugar. Imagine biting into something that tastes like sugar, went to an intensive boot camp, and came back way too enthusiastic. But here's the twist. Even though it tastes wildly sweet, monk fruit sweeteners have 0 calories. Yup, 0, zilch, nada. The kind of 0 that makes people reconsider every sugary decision they've ever made in their lives. And because mogrosides aren't absorbed and metabolized by the body the same way sugar is, you get all the sweetness without the calorie guilt trip. Now, before you go imagining monk fruit growing peacefully in fields with spa music playing in the background, let's talk history. Legend has it that centuries ago, Buddhist monks discovered the fruit, which is how it got the name monk fruit. These monks were already known for their peaceful nature, but maybe they were just very well sweetened. The fruit was traditionally used in Chinese medicine to soothe sore throats and cool the body. So yes, even long before it became the darling of keto diets, monk fruit was already the overachiever type. Speaking of diets, if you're someone navigating the complicated world of sugar substitutes, monk fruit sweetener has probably waved at you from the store shelf. It's become wildly popular among people doing keto, low carb, low sugar, or I just want to be healthier but don't take away my sweetness diets. And unlike artificial sweeteners that sometimes come with an aftertaste resembling regret, monk fruit tends to taste cleaner and more natural. No chemical vibes, no metallic finish. It's like the sweetener equivalent of someone who showers regularly and uses nice shampoo. But let's answer one of the biggest questions people always ask. Is monk fruit actually safe? Short answer, yes. Long answer, yes, and science agrees. The FDA has designated monk fruit sweeteners as GRAS, or generally recognized as safe, which is exactly what you want your sweetener to be, recognized and safe, like a reliable neighbor who returns your Tupperware on time. Many studies show that mogrosides don't raise blood sugar levels, making them a popular option for people with diabetes or those just trying not to spike their glucose every time they look at a donut. Now, I know what you're thinking. If it's so good, why isn't everyone using it? Well, that's where things get interesting. One reason monk fruit sweetener hasn't completely taken over the world, yet, is cost. Growing monk fruit is tricky, harvesting is tricky, and you can't just pick one off the shelf at your local grocery store like an apple. It requires specific climates and careful handling. Basically, monk fruit is the diva of sweeteners. It wants optimal sunlight, the right temperature, proper care, and probably someone playing gentle flute music nearby. Now let's talk about the taste. Because people always want to know, does it taste like sugar? The answer? Almost. Monk fruit has a more rounded, gentle sweetness. It doesn't hit you in the teeth like table sugar sometimes does. Some people notice a slight fruity note, but it's not overwhelming. It's like sugar went on a meditation retreat and came back calmer. But before you think this sweetener is a flawless angel that descended from the heavens, let's talk limitations, because nothing is perfect, except maybe freshly baked bread. Monk fruit doesn't always behave the same way sugar does when cooking or baking. Sugar caramelizes, browns, melts, and gives baked goods structure. Monk fruit? Not so much. It's more of a, I'll give you sweetness but don't ask me to do extra work type of ingredient. If you're making cookies, the texture may turn out slightly different. Cakes may not rise the same way, but with the right recipe tweaks or using a monk fruit blend made for baking, it still works beautifully. However, monk fruit's path to European plates hasn't been smooth. In the European Food Safety Authority, or EFSA jurisdiction, and under the EU Novel Food Regulation, monk fruit was treated as a novel food. That means because it was not eaten to a significant degree in most of Europe before 1997, any concentrated extract sweetener derived from it needed a full safety review before being allowed in general commerce. For a long time, no company submitted a sufficiently comprehensive dossier to prove safety, especially when it came to highly purified extracts. And EFSA found existing data inadequate, citing gaps in long-term toxicology, metabolism, and potential health impacts. As a result, most forms of monk fruit sweetener remained unapproved, and you couldn't legally find them in many European food products. But recently, as of October 2024, the regulatory picture in Europe changed a little. Under Regulation EU 2024-2345, only a specific aqueous extract of monk fruit was officially authorized for use in the European Union. This means that while certain kinds of monk fruit decoctions or simple water-based extracts can now legally appear in some food and beverage products in Europe, the more concentrated and purified magroside-heavy extracts, the kind often used as high-intensity sugar substitutes, remain unapproved under EU rules because they still lack sufficient toxicological data and formal application. In the end, monk fruit is one of those rare ingredients that manages to be ancient, nutritious, sweet, and still mysterious enough to spark debates in modern food regulations. It's a tiny fruit with a big personality, beloved in wellness circles, trusted by science, and finally getting cautiously welcomed into Europe. Whether you use it for dieting, blood sugar control, or just because you want sweetness without the side-eye from your health apps, monk fruit proves that sometimes the best things in the kitchen come from the calmest, quietest places. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.